games against Argentina. They win, and the turning point was when Jeff Stork was put into the match.
Jeff Stork, very important to the United States because he creates isolation. Watch this play. The hitter on the left. Watch the setter, Jeff Stork, on the right. He'll move into position, and he creates a fake in the middle. The blocker jumps. He goes out to the outside, and Karai puts the ball away. One attacker on one blocker. Jeff Stork is so deceptive, he makes the United States offense run.
Stork is healthy. He will start. It's the U.S. versus France, and now we go to track and field. Serving for the France. France 2-1 in pool play. The U.S. 3-0. And to this point, at least the U.S. has been a little bit better in their hitting, Chris Marlowe. They're getting Steve Timmons into the match early. That's Doug Partee serving.
Well, they certainly are, but the problems the United States are having now is passing. They're shanking the ball all over the place, and it's hurting their offense.
Fabiani, the setter. Kept alive. Buck can't get to it. Side out France.
But one thing the French are doing very well, normally they're a jump serving team, but I think they've caught the United States off guard because most of them are serving this long float serve, and the United States having a lot of passing problems.
Laurent Thiele with the serve. Buck. The two best receivers in the world of volleyball play for the U.S. Bob Stavertlik, number 4, and Karch Karai, number 15.
And normally the other teams will serve Stavertlik because Karai is perceived as better.
That ball off the block and out of bounds. That was Jurkovic with the spike out. Fabiani. There's that short serve you mentioned, Chris. Buck again with the kill down. Side out U.S.
I like the strategy of the French, though. Move that serve around. Serve the United States deep and use that short serve. Drop it in there if they can.
Now this is the U.S.'s best rotation in a match against. There's a service ace by Jeff Stork, as I was about to say. In the match against Argentina, Jeff Stork, 11 straight points when he was serving, and in the match in game 3, there's another ace. 2 straight aces. Now the U.S. ties the score 6-6. Chris, why is his serve so tough?
Because he's got great movement on it. He hits it hard and flat, and the ball does not rotate, so he's getting a knuckleball rotation. And every time he serves, he has 3 big blockers in the front line to block with him. That's why they score so many points when he's serving.
That's 3 straight points now for the U.S. on Jeff Stork's serve. The big guys are at the net. Timmons, Stavertlik, and Buck. Quick set. Handled by Karai. Stork up, Stavertlik. Hits it down. 4 straight points for the U.S. About time for a timeout for France. Substitution for France. Olivier Rossard comes in. Laurent Thiele goes out.
So far, Bob Stavertlik off to a fast start for the United States. 4 kills.
Fabiani the set. That ball is in. Philippe Bland gets the kill. And we'll continue with more volleyball after this. Continues 9-8. The United States lead over France, as we'll go quickly to track and field. We're going to keep it here. Side out France. Bouvier serves for France, and Stork. That ball is in. Side out USA.
One of the advantages of Jeff Stork, he can hit the ball down. He's left-handed. That's a big advantage as a setter.
Doug Partee serves. Good dig, U.S. Greg Buck hits it long. Side out France. U.S. scored the first 4 points of this game. France came back with the next 5. Now it's 9-8. U.S. leads.
And still not one jump serve from France. So this is definitely part of their strategy to serve float serves, and it's working.
Garay, blocked back. But out. Side out, U.S. Team captain, Karch Karai to serve. Outside. Bouvier, known as the Bombardier for the French team. His hobbies include climbing the Alps. Playing this U.S. men's volleyball team by some is considered climbing the Alps of volleyball. There's a spike by Timmons off the block. Side out U.S. Stork once again serving, and this was without question the U.S.'s best rotation. Eric Gappet hits the ball down.
And a beautiful assist by Alain Fabiani, considered by many to be the best setter in the world.
And Gappet serves. Bouvier, France's big hitter so far, 6 kills. There he is again. Nice dig, Karai. Stavertlich. Off the block, out of bounds. Side out, U.S.
Oh, I think he touched the net.
Oh, Stavertlich into the net.
That is the French setter, Alain Fabiani. He is the quarterback of France, their most experienced player, and the French will go as far as he will take them.
Our #1 referee, Mr. De Souza, today from Brazil. Bouvier with a stuff on Craig Buck. 10-9 now. France leads. You see Jeff Stork calling the offense. He's the offensive coordinator, the quarterback, if you will, for the men's volleyball team. Buck. Nice combination there in the middle. He gets it down.
Talk about passing problems. If the United States does not pass the ball closely to the net, they can't involve Craig Buck in the offense. It's too far away. That was good pass. That's what the United States has to do.
The pass is the serve reception, and the pass to the center at the net. Bouvier with another big kill. That's now 7 for the game. France leads 10-9. Partey. Nice dig, Fabiani. Outside. Laurent Tilly. Buck keeps it up. Stavertlich. That ball is out. 11-9 France. Interesting that the U.S. men's volleyball team has played. There's a timeout for the U.S. They've played 3 matches. They've only won the first game in 1 match. And that was against Japan.
You know, when you swung right, Jeff.
11-9. France leads in game 1.
And that move right there, going double quick and him swinging, they're all over this.
To France. 6 game attempts by the French.
And a lot of it has been the United States blocking. They've come all the way back. Another slow start. French are playing very well right now.
Nice block. That's off the block, out of bounds. Score tied 15 apiece. That's Christophe Minot. You must win by 2 in volleyball. Eric Daniel, the youngest volleyball coach in this tournament, at just 31. Fabiani sets. Minot, nice block. Stork and Buck at the net.
The Pepperdine connection. Craig Buck and Jeff Stork both went to Pepperdine. Stork played for Marv Dunphy, and now the United States in one of their best rotations.
Stork the server. The big guys are at the net. Saved by Partey. Stork sets. Stavertlich.
Great
One
kick.
hand, off 2 hands. It's still alive. Bouvier gets it over. Karai. Timmons. That time Laurent Tilly off the hand, side out France. And a substitution. And Gappet comes in. Christophe Minot goes out.
Minot did a pretty nice job. He got a kill in there, and Gappet has played very well in the back court.
And Gappet serves for France. Score tied 15 apiece. You must win by 2 in volleyball. Timmons with the kill, kept alive by Fabiani.
Oh.
But it's outside the antenna. That's outside out U.S. Eric Daniel. This is a very experienced U.S. team. Craig Buck, the tallest member of the team, serves. Bouvier, stuff. It's still up, though. Tilly.
Great shot.
Laurent Tilly, cross court. Side out France. Substitution, Troy Tanner in. Craig Buck out. Tanner in for defense.
His goal to get 1 dig in the back court. Troy Tanner.
Jerkovic serves for France. Stavertlich, nice pass. Partey hammers it. Side out U.S.
You know, it's amazing that the French have the quickest attack in the world, yet they don't know how to block the quick attack. They work on it year after year after year, and they are terrible blockers.
Stavertlich serves. Quick set. Tanner keeps it up. Karai. He gets it down. Captain Karch Karai gives the U.S. a 16-15 lead in game 1. Stavertlich serves, game point. Fabiani, quick set. Tilly gets it down. Now Philippe Plan, #1, 6'4". Known in Europe as the French Karai serves.
And he was named the best player in the world in 1986. And actually, that's why they made up that award for Karch Karai, because no one thought he deserved it on a team that finished 6th at the World Championships.
That serve is long. Timmons now serves. At the net, Stork, Karai, and Partey. Tanner, nice dig. Timmons. Blocked back. Bouvier playing defense.
Tanner did his job. He got the dig up, but Timmons unable to convert.
Bouvier serves. France's big hitter. Stavertlich. Stork. Karai. When in doubt, the U.S. team time and time again will go to Karts Karai.
And that's a big mismatch for France because he's being blocked by the small Fabiani, and Fabiani cannot get his little hands over the net to block Karai.
Tanner out. Buck back in.
For blocking. He's in there to stuff. Game point.
U.S. third attempt at game point. Ooh, that was a tough set, but still handled very well by Laurent Tilly. Side out France. U.S. leads 16-15. And you must win by 2. Eric Daniel, the French coach. Timmons. There's one factor in this first game. Timmons has hit the ball much better. And with a new haircut, I think in the service they call that high and tight. Red is on his game. Bouvier, block. Stavertlich knuckles it up.
This is it.
Stork. That ball is wide.
He had a perfect opportunity, just turned it a little too far. That's called radical angle. He just turned his palm outward.
Philippe Bland serves. His team trailing by 1. Again, Buck at the net with a nice kill. Stork serves. U.S.'s 5th attempt at game point. 16-15.
Key right now is, can the French handle Stavertlich and make that Stork serve?
No. Timmons blocks it at the net. 17-15. Game 1 goes to the U.S. The teams will switch in.
Steve Timmons able to penetrate. He knows Ngapit trying the angle, and the key was the penetration. Timmons way over the net.
Defense allowed over the net. And Marv Dunphy sitting on the sideline by himself. The team will come for a little advice from Marv, a statistics freak.
And what he's doing right now, he's making out the lineup for game 2. So he's filling in the names, and it'll be the same names, I guarantee you.
Hands it into the official scorer. That rotation is very precise in volleyball.
And the other coach is not allowed to see that lineup, so it's a guessing game how they will adjust.
There will be a 2-minute rest between each set.
See if Marv has a pearl for his team.
In your 2 minutes to go,
Here you go. First things first. The rotation to the match judge. That's where the players changed jerseys.
USA Cabana.
You know the rule I'm talking about on D? Okay, when it's 9 and 5, I want you to the right because everything.
I am, but we're getting one-on-one, and so I'm moving left.
They're hitting the ball right in that spot every time. All right, just move over there. And also with 4 serving you, Jeff, I want Bob to go to the right, and let's run some quicks and some right side combos when those 2 rotations. All right. Now we're in a little bit of a passing group. Just right front. Yeah.
That is a very private conversation.
Nice stuff.
That little changing room so that the players can change jerseys. We certainly hope the French aren't listening. The French had 5 attempts at game point. The U.S. 6. They win game 1, 17-15.
The American men are undefeated in the volleyball tournament, and as you can see, they are cruising past the men from France right now. Let's go back out to Hanyang University. Bob Trumpy, Chris Marlowe.
Have pretty much put the French away here already. 12-5, and they're playing well in all aspects of the game as Steve Timmons serves it out of bounds.
I think the reason this is happening is the power of the United States. The United States is a heavyweight. France is a cruiserweight. They're both throwing bombs, and the cruiserweight has taken some heavy shellacking.
Ngapit goes out. Christophe Minot comes in, and now you see the French going to the jump serve. A desperation move. It's a low percentage serve. Karai with the kill. France has 5 serving errors in this game, 11 for the match. The U.S. just 1. And Karai really put that one away. Scott Fortune out of Stanford comes in. Doug Partee goes out.
You might keep your eye on the American blocking scheme. It's led by Craig Buck at the net, the 6'9" middle blocker. Watch them get 2 blockers on 1 French spiker most of the time.
There's miscommunication by the French. Free ball U.S. Buck tries the dink, doesn't work. Set out to Tilly. Stavertlik. Stork is the setter. Quick set to Buck. U.S. playing excellent defense today. Oh, nice dig. Mino.
There's the blocking.
Laurent Tilly. The U.S. relentless. Karai. Blocked that time. 3 men up defensively for the French team. That's Christophe Mino, Bouvier, and Hervé Maison, and ace stuff Karai. 12-5. U.S. leads in game 2. Another jump serve by the French. Karai. That ball is in. Side out U.S.
And Karch Karai playing very, very well. In 1984, a lot of pressure on Karai, and I think he would tell you he did not play well in 1984, did not have a good Olympic Games. He is going to be the star of this Olympics, I predict.
He was the youngest member of the 1984 Olympic team, the team that won the gold. Timmins off the block, out of bounds. 13-5, game 2, and you can see the ferocious nature of this U.S. men's volleyball team. Internationally very experienced, not intimidated by anyone. The dump, they can't get the dig. It's interesting to note that Marv Dunphy, the men's volleyball coach, coaches like Bobby Knight does, in that he does not coach against an opponent. He coaches against perfection. Now the setter for France, there's Eric Daniel, the head coach. Cannot be happy with what's happened so far. This French team, a very powerful team, but the U.S. putting them away. Stork tries the quick kill from the center into the net.
When you try that shot, you have to be closer to the net. Stork was too far off the net, thus cutting down his chance.
Aviani serves the ball into the net. That's the 6th serving error for the French, the 12th in the match. And Stork, the setter, goes back to serve. This is the U.S.'s best rotation. Our remote control camera. Another tough serve by Stork, but handled well by the French. Back. Great stuff blocks to Stavertlik.
And Craig Buck set that up. He was able to get to the outside with Stavertlik and jam that ball down. 2 blockers on 1 attacker. The United States winning this battle.
Game point. Stork serves. Fabiani. Stork digs it. Timmins. Right back in his face. In Gappet. And Hervé Maison.
The cruiserweight got in a quick uppercut there, Bob.
And Gappet now back to serve. Gappet 29, 6-2. 14-6 game 2. U.S. won the first game 17-15. And the French are called for being into the net. Mr. D'Souza is our #1 rep, and here comes Eric Sato, the game or match point specialist. He'll come with the jump serve and his family. Leanne, his younger sister. E is his nickname. Quick set. Bouvier hits it out. And game 2 to the U.S. They win the first one 17-15. They win the second one 15-6.
And once again, Sato terminates for the United States, as he did against Argentina for the match. Up at the net, ball going out of bounds, but a good serve by Eric Sato set that up, put a lot of pressure on the French team.
E, as he's known, by the front. You see the parents of Karch Karai, Tony and Laszlo. Sitting there, you can see their concern. France now has 5 unanswered points. They lead in game 3, 13-9. Eric Sato into the match. He's there for defense and a jump serve. The U.S., after playing brilliantly in the first 2 games, let France back in this match. And the big hitter for France all day long has been Eric Bouvier. 14 kills in this game, 32 in the match, and there's the jump serve by Eric Sato.
That's how he usually comes in, with heat.
It's handled well by the French. Stork. Timmins, who also has been a big hitter for the U.S. so far today. That's his 27th kill of the match. 14th in the game, 13-9. The U.S. won the first two games. And again, a nice hit by Alain Fabiani. He gets the ball down. He's the setter.
And I think where it really turned around for France in this game, they inserted Christophe Minot. He's 6'7". They took out Jurkovic, and he has really made a difference. He's changed the chemistry of this French team. They have some more size in there now to contend with Buck, Timmins, and Partey.
Stork that time with a left-handed kill. He now goes back to serve. 13-9. France leads game 3. Another big hit, this time by Hervé Maison. Probably France's most complete player.
And there is Christophe Minot. Oh, check that.
That's Christophe Minot serving for France. Buck, quick set by Stork. Ball is down, side out U.S. Partey now back into the match. Eric Sato comes out. Buck to serve. I was going to make the comment to Brian Gumbel prior to this third game. There's the Bertlich with the stop. Right back over the net. 13-10 now. France leads. In his conversation with Karch Kiraly yesterday morning, Karch said, we want to peak for the gold medal round. In the first two games, the U.S. has played their best volleyball of this tournament. And Captain Karch Kiraly gets the ball over. Watch this dig.
A creative defensive play by Craig Buck. Now, he's not noted for his defense, so whenever he can contribute in the backcourt, it helps the United States.
Timeout U.S. Marv Dunphy, Gary Sato, his assistant. Let's see what Marv has to say.
All right, if it gets around to it and they're hitting D's, 9, we're going to block his line, okay, and stay over there. And 5, we're going to block that seam, okay? Let's go.
Tell me where D is on the court, Chris.
It is the backcourt zone in the right back. The zones are labeled A, B, C, and D. So it's the closest to the sideline, the near sideline where the benches are. And what they're saying is they want to block the line and the seam. The player will call out D, give me the ball.
Bertlich, once again, a bad pass to the net. Philippe Bland put that too close to the net. Bertlich able to shove it down his face. Here comes Jurkovic back in the match. And Hervé Maison 3 sits down for a while. Now 13-12. Why the sub at that point, Chris?
Stop the momentum of the United States. The only way to do it, unless they want to take another timeout. But they're playing so poorly. Oh, terrible mistake.
U.S. now with 4 unassisted points. They've tied the score at 13 apiece. Eric Daniel, the head coach of France. His team very much in charge in game 3. And now the U.S. has come back. Nice hit that time by Bland. Off the block and down, side out France.
Very important for the French to get at least a game off the United States. They're in tough with the Netherlands and Argentina. They need to win games in case it goes down to games in the advancing formula.
Jurkovic on the serves. Bertlich on the combination. Laurent Tilly stuffs. Bertlich keeps it up. Stork the setter. Partey. Nice dig. Oh, an even better stuff by Bertlich and Timmins and Laszlo. Dr. Kiraly.
Get a uniform on him.
You got to give him room up there on those seats. Tony, his wife sitting next to him, should wear shoulder pads.
She's taking her life in her hands, sitting 1 seat away.
Kiraly stuffed back at his face. Tilly and Philippe Bland at the net.
And what a great confrontation. Karch Kiraly voted the best player in the world by the International Federation, and Philippe Bland, the man who was given the award in 1986. Both tremendous players.
Bland serves. 13-13 game 3. The U.S. has won the first 2. Off the block. Kiraly off Tilly, out of bounds, side out U.S. Timmins serves. Timmins now 15 kills in the game, 28 in the match. That time Bouvier, the big hitter for France, with his 33rd kill of the match, 15th of the game. He now goes back to serve. First game was 17-15 U.S. winning. Second game 15-6 U.S. winning. And now 13-13 in Kiraly with a big hit off the block. Side out U.S.
And there's a little chatter under the net. Technically, you're not allowed to yell and scream at the other team, but the players do it anyway. They like that.
Partey serves. Fabiani. way off the ground. Laurent Tilly on the kill.
United States having some defensive problems. Their defense is too close. They're in too tight. A lot of balls going deep. The United States needs to back up.
Tilly serves to Bertley. Karai. Kept alive by Bland. Fabiani. Buck Karai again. Whoa, that's 4 rows up in the seats. Off the block. Side out, U.S.
And Philippe Blanc is so hyped up. He just took that ball right away from the setter. Fabiani should have let Fabiani take that one.
Karai serves. Set very tight, but handled well. Mino does the job on the kill. Side out, France.
Once again, the United States charging. They're using that credit card defense, Bob. It's everybody charging. You have to stay back.
Bertley, Stork, Buck, quick set. Side out, U.S. One thing about this U.S. team is when the ball comes back across the net for about the 5th time, they are not worried. Fabiani, nice set. Free ball now for the U.S. Karai to Stork to Timmons. Set too tight to the net. Fabiani. Oh! And Bertley stuffs it back in the net. It's match point USA.
The set too close. Instead of a meter back, it was only 2 feet. Stavertlik gets it.
Jeff Stork serves for the match. Hit out of bounds. U.S. wins in 3. 17-15, 15-6, 15-13. The U.S. now 4-0 in pool competition. The U.S. fans celebrating, and that's a smile from Marv Dunphy. About as big a smile as you'll get. 7 unanswered points by the U.S. team to win the match. We'll return with more Olympic.
One more time, the winning point, and the forcing of Greg Buck. Intimidation by Buck caused the French player to hit it out. The United States puts it away.
They win in 3. We'll be back with more Olympics after a word from your local station.